Hi everyone, we're back again for another activity here on CodeSignal. The next activity that we're gonna do is entitled Adjacent Elements Product. In this activity, we have to get the highest multiple of two adjacent pairs of numbers inside the array. So here we have an example. 3 times 6 will be 18, and then the next pair would be 6 times -2, which will be -12. So 18 is the highest, so that will stay as our max number. So by doing that, we need to have max variable and initialize it as 0. And then since we are going to each value of that array, we need to do a loop. For that, we will use for each. So for each loop, for this looping statement, we only need the input array as then the value, we name it as number. Okay, so for each iterates like for loop, but in for loop we say I as our counter equals to 0 for the index, and then we need to get the length of that input for our condition. So I should be less than the count of an array and I iterates. That's how we do for loop. But for each, don't need to do that. It will stop if we hit the last value of that array. So we need to get the max. Okay, so since we have to know the product of the adjacent number of current number, we need to do current number times the next number in that array. So in PHP, there is another function to get the next value, and we do not need to do something like input array plus key. See, we don't need to do that anymore because we have the function given to us by PHP. The answer to this, we need to store it in a temporary variable. Then we need a max. So max is equal to temporary greater than max. If temporary is greater than max, then let a temporary be the max, and if not, then max. Then we're going to return max product. We run test and we hit an error, test number 8. Okay, there's a 0 right here. Our output became 0 because we initialize max as 0, and if an answer is negative, then we won't get the highest negative number. So it is 4 times -3, it's -12. So that's the highest, I think. For that one, what we're going to do is say if next input array. Okay, so next returns integer if there's any, and if not, it returns a boolean. So what we're gonna do is say is next number is an integer. So if not boolean, then do this. Since we added next here, we should do current here. We should call current array value for this. So we already called here the next number, the next value. So what we need to do here is call that next as the current, and do not forget to initialize max as negative, say 99999, just to be safe. Run test, and we solved it. Click submit, and we got the correct answer.